I guess I could do like a basic tutorial for y'all. No one really asked. I just felt like getting on arcane lineage, and I was like, you know what? I should do a tutorial, because why not? So you've probably already joined. I don't know how far you've progressed, obviously, but this is where you start. This place, right? This is where you're gonna be starting. What most people will do is you'll talk to this guy, and he'll do the slime thing. I don't think you've killed all three. I think I bugged him out, so I can't learn that, but it is what it is. Once you've got that quest, he'll basically be telling you, go kill 3 slimes, blah 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 blah. You'll have to come back to him after you kill 3 slimes. Then what you want to get, you're gonna want to come over to this board, like right over here. Probably grab one of these quests. Don't grab this king slime quest. Whatever you do, please do not do that. My recommendation is probably get one of the slime quests, preferably not slime eradication, because that does take a significant amount of time. I would say like get one of like the slime research ones. You could get bandit hunting. That's what I did when I first started this after my last wipe. So, but just preferably get slime or bandits, and then what you want to do is obviously you're gonna want to run out of here. You're just gonna run out into the forest. You're kind of protected on this like little stone pathy thing, but once you get out of here, you can start encountering things. And I would recommend coming this exact direction near this guy, this fucking doctor boy over here. You're gonna want to come over here, just chill over here, stay on this side, because then you can run to safety in case anything happens. And what you want to do is, if you ever get low in the middle of a fight, you want to run back to that man insanely quick. That's why I recommend staying like fairly close to the road, just to escape, so you don't encounter something else. Okay, obviously I didn't like assign anything since I'm high enough level for like grass spirits. So you won't be encountering these until like a few levels in. Fuck, I didn't dodge any of that. But basically, as you saw in the middle of that, right? That's the blocking system. What I'm doing is I'm pressing space, right? You can either do the thing in the middle of your screen that says, "Damn, that man dodged it." But fuck. Okay, well, I've just been crippled and stunned, so this isn't very useful. I was kind of just trying to explain things, and I forgot I wasn't just in the middle of here. But basically, you're gonna want to press space when it's either on the red or yellow, preferably on the yellow, because red is you block, but you can still take a little bit of damage. But the yellow is a perfect dodge, so that means you won't be taking any damage. Okay, he just failed his attack. That happens sometimes with just some enemies, it's really good when that happens. That is like one of the best things you can get from that man. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Well, thieves will just steal your money, but don't worry too much when they do that, because as long as you kill them, you will get it back. And when you do kill thieves, I'm pretty sure they guarantee you drop 10 gold, unless you're like a thief yourself, which is a class. I don't remember if it's called thief or rogue, can't remember, but it does give you extra money, so it is a decent class to go down. But basically, your basic thing is attack, item, guard, meditate, escape. Attack is what I've been doing. But you'll probably notice when you're fighting, why do I only have strike? That's because you don't have a class yet, most likely. If that's your question. But when you do get a class, you'll get more moves when you get the moves from your class. You gotta pay for those. I think it's 50 per level for your base class. So it'll feel like a lot early on, especially when you don't have that much money. But like, okay, scrolling down the list, there was item, which is for potions, which like minor potions, like small healing potion. You can get this from killing slimes or completing some slime quests. I think those also give it to you, which is pretty useful. And you can drink that if you ever get low in the middle of a fight. Also, since I lost health, I talked to this guy. He'll heal me. The thing is, if you're watching this guy and you've like already like lost 3 lives, and then you chose a different difficulty, it'll cost money to get heals from this guy. So That's why I'm on the base mode right now. Because, you know, this is my first time playing on this account. So, I don't really want to pay for that. But, those are some of the basics. Some of the extreme basics. Oh, well, there's also, guard and meditate. Guard is basically, if you are so not confident of your abilities for that little mini game there, for dodging, that is probably the best thing you can do. Or if you know something's about to come up, it's really useful because it's basically like an auto block, which you block, but you won't dodge. So you'll be guaranteed to take some damage when you're doing that. But it is better than taking the full brunt of it for some moves at least. So when you learn the path, okay, you might see some people doing this, and you're gonna be really confused. These people are trying to die. Don't tell them to jump out. Just let it happen. Those are for people that are trying to wipe because they wanna change difficulties, which I've explained in a previous video. But basically, you start off with 3 lives and on the basic game mode, and if you die 3 times, you go to purgatory and you can change difficulty or just stay on the same one. So some people just wipe instantly, so they can change difficulty. But basically, once you get like 50 coins, actually, once you kill 3 slimes, talk to this guy, because that guy gives you the daze move, and it's like one of the best moves early on. And that's also the from the minigame I showed you. You can get that, you can use it. It's super useful, really good early on. Honestly, pretty useful because it can stun too. Does it stun or weaken? I can't remember. But it's just super useful. Does decent amounts of damage if you have good strength. So I highly recommend it if you're going down like a strength class. Once you get 50 coins, you can either get a class, or what I recommend is going over here, right next to this guild thing right here. Also, talk to this guy, and you can check your class, like see how not your class. You can check how far you are on your quest. I'm doing slime eradication because it just gives really decent rewards, but it takes a shit ton of time. But when you come up here, you'll see some weapons. This one right here is for the what the fuck is it called? It's the path where you can go down monk or the wraith guy. This is for like the rogues or the things I mentioned before. This is for people that are going down like that map, the wizard class. This is for the slayers, and this is for what I am, a warrior. And obviously these classes also have like upgraded versions of them. And they all have at least 2 classes when you upgrade. So once you reach level 15, you can do it. I don't recommend doing it the moment you get to level 15 because some of them are really dangerous to go to, and are just dangerous areas. I can make a part 2 just for like the upgraded class versions of those. But that's some of the super basic stuff. And you might have noticed, gold right next to your gold right there is this weird blue flame thing. And that might have confused some people, or maybe you know it, because whenever you killed things, or when you finished a quest, it would say plus essence and like a number, right? And what I want you to do is go over to these maps, and I want you to press N. Because if you do that, you'll be taken to a really cool looking place. After you wait for a little bit, you'll be taken to this little church place. And I'll show you what essence does, but first, and then I'll show you what that guy over there does. But basically, you can talk to this guy, you can talk to Raffion, the guy in the beginning, and you can give him your essence, and he'll level you up. I'm not gonna level up right now because I plan to do something, and because I also don't want to just dip. But it'll give you a little prompt on your screen, and it'll tell you where to put 3 stat points. And depending on what class you plan to go down, I would recommend only leveling up after you know what class you're gonna go down. And then you're going to want to talk to this dude, this little guy, this little eye freaky man. And he'll ask you, interlink, and you're going to say interlink, And then there's the path of destruction, the path of empowerment, and the path of sundry. Now, I'll explain what all 3 of these do. But basically, the path of destruction... Actually, I should explain what this is in the first place. This stuff saves even when you wipe. So basically, when you die, when you lose all 3 of your lives, this stuff will save. I don't think anything else does though, but yeah, this stuff will save. and all the buffs it gives you will save. Path of Destruction is like crit chance, damage, like arcane damage as well. It's all in there. Path of Empowerment, health, like damage reduction, that kind of shit. Path of Sundry is the path that I think is relatively good, mostly because, because essence gain, and then sell prices. It's super useful for money making and getting essence. And essence is, is how you level up. So if you think you're gonna wipe like a lot, I would really recommend going down Path of Sundry, just purely because the essence gain is really good. You're like, but how do I go down a path? Soul points. Soul points is something that you get like just doing some very specific things. And in the description of the video, I'll show you. I'll send a link to the Trello and like just a basic description of how you can get soul points, because they're soul points are a very important aspect. Also, you see, it'll eventually cost more. I'm gonna have to back out of this, but it used to be it wouldn't take you out of that menu, but they changed it. How could they? But basically, the farther you go down these paths, right, it'll just be 1, 1, 1, and then it'll cost 2, and then it'll cost 2. I think it goes up to 3 or 4. I can't remember. But yeah, that's the base. That's just the base. That's a basic explanation of how everything works. Yeah. I think that's honestly the most you'll need for a base guide. If there are more questions, do ask those. Oh yeah, blueprints. When you defeat monsters, you might notice you get blueprints, and you're gonna want to take them out of your inventory. You're gonna want to drink them. Not drink them. Sorry, I was looking at an elixir. I was like, drink. You're gonna wanna. I'm not gonna drink this because I do need that for later. But you're gonna wanna take it out of your inventory. But actually, if you don't know how you open your inventory, press B or the thing above tab, and that'll open up your inventory. You can just drag it over and then put in drag it, click it or whatever, and then click, boom. You've learned a blueprint. How do I use blueprints? I think they're only armor. And you talk to the blacksmith over here. They'll have like some requirements that you need to make them, but they'll just give you buffs like HP and resistance to stuff. Fairly useful stuff. I've shown you the healing guy. I haven't shown you where all the base classes are, but they are around. I can do a video on where all the base classes are. This is the guy that I know the best. This is the warrior. No, it's not. What the fuck? What am I on about? That's not the warrior. My bad. Sorry, I always get this guy mixed up with another guy. Here we are. Here, this is the warrior guy. You can talk to him, you can learn what you need to learn. I've already learned everything, so obviously I can't keep talking to him to learn things, but yeah. That's for warrior. That's what I am. So, that's chill. I don't think there's much more for a beginner's guide. Well, actually, this place, over here, you can sell stuff to this dude. Not much, though. I'd also be very careful, because, like, I'd like to sell some stuff. Don't say in bulk, because he will sell, like, all of your slime chunks, and, like, just stuff, and they won't tell you, but you can just, like, appraise things, and this thing will, like, literally only buy, drops from mobs, I believe. Which, yeah, that's a thing. It's quite annoying. There's a bank over here to store items. I don't know if that keeps after life though. I don't. But when you do die, you do like lose all your items. So that yeah, it's very useful to use the bank. I would recommend it, especially if you're like really new and you need to. But this potion making place, it's chill. You can get a portent. There's this guy is useful depending on what class you want to go next, like after your base class. Because he can either give you chaotic or orderly. Now, I'm going to have to explain chaotic order. So basically, there's two types for... how I said there's two classes after your base ones for all these guys, right? Basically, one is chaotic and one is orderly for each one of these, right? And I think you need to do 3 quests for orderly, and I think you can just do like 2 for chaotic. I can't remember. I remember I did 2 for chaotic. I just pushed the dude off a cliff and I did this guy's potion incorrectly. And you should be able to do it. The thing is, you have to make a bunch of these heartbreaking elixirs, which is like 3 Everside and just some random thing that you get from the desert. I'll make another video on how to do that later if you guys really want that, but yeah. That's like the basic, that's like the basis. But yeah, I would recommend trying to maybe avoid this guy's quest until you want to know what you guys want to do. There's obviously other quests, and I would recommend like getting some information on like which ones are neutral, so you don't mess up your reputation, because the reputation does matter before you get your class. So I would recommend finding out before you just do any quest. But that's why I would recommend going on this quest board for most things to level up at least early on. But yeah, that's it basically. Also, I think you can change your thing. You can change how your armor looks, and I really don't recommend it because it usually looks kind of mid when you change it. Unless someone knows something cool. Yeah. That's the base. Well, there's also races that I didn't explain, but those are kind of hard to explain. Because I really don't know much about the races, because I've just been a Stella in like one other race. I've never really done anything much. I haven't got like any rare races or anything, so I'm not like an expert on every race. So I would recommend just going to the Trello, which I will link below now, since I've just talked about it a lot, and I think it gives a really good explanation about anything you'll be confused on. But if you are confused and you want like semi-quick responses, I'm usually up pretty late, so I'll probably be able to respond to most questions, or just or send you towards someone that will be able to answer your questions. But that's basically it. There's probably not going to be really any editing going on for this, so like it is what it is. You feel. I've been Grim. If you need any help, just ask comments or go to the Trello.